Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Mr. Escaler. First of all, I want to say congratulations to you all, batch of 2021. You've all went through some unprecedented times, navigating virtual learning and adjusting to a new normal amidst the pandemic. And from the looks of it, you all have done a fantastic job. I've seen where you're headed, and it's to such amazing places. As a former student coming from the first graduating batch at Beacon, it warms my heart to see how much Beacon has grown and flourished since I've left. If there's one thing I would have wanted to hear when I was in your shoes, it'd be to know your self-worth. You have a lot more skills than you think. You are worth more than you think. I'll never forget feeling so overwhelmed after meeting my classmates, my first few days at UC Davis, hearing about all their accomplishments and achievements while in high school. I realized that there were just so many brilliant, hardworking students concentrated in one university, and I wondered how could I even begin to compete with them, especially coming from such a different form of schooling halfway across the world. As I went through the motions of college, actually taking the classes, I realized that the rigorous IB program that prepared me so well for such classes. I'll never forget how my classmates were groaning, complaining at the idea of writing a 5-page basic book analysis. I, on the other hand, was so relieved I didn't have to write another 10-page paper that I had to do all the time in English SL. Maybe college isn't as bad as I thought. My first quarter grades came in, and I was right. That diploma did help me after all. Then came winter quarter, and I saw some job applications, and I wanted to apply for my very first job. I wanted to be an orientation leader. It's one of those people that helps new students kind of get a feel of the university. And I thought about it because, it seemed fun from what I saw during my own orientation, and it paid pretty well. However, as I read through the application, I got stumped. They wanted a resume. Oh no, how could I make one of those if I had no prior job experience? It's like that meme where they ask you, well, you need experience, but what if I have no experience to get a job? How does that work? I wrote what I could, stringing as many high school experiences as I could that were relevant, and submitted my application. Thankfully, I got an interview. I'll never forget walking up to that interview, my palms so sweaty, just dreading of the thought of what could I be asked? What could I answer on the fly? I didn't know what questions they were going to ask me. I've never done a formal interview like this before. After arriving to the interview and exchanging some casual greetings, I was asked, orientation leaders frequently have to adapt to various positions that we assign you. Some of these we would assign you at only a minute's notice. Point to an experience where you adapted to a situation and excelled. Adaptable? I needed a minute to think about that. But then it clicked. All that critical thinking I was made to do throughout my 4 years in high school and IB, and 3 years in middle school, especially during my time as a part of the Model of the United Nations, were all times I had to be adaptive to different situations. All of a sudden, I had a ton of anecdotes to cite. I ended up talking about how when I was at The Hague in the Netherlands for my Model United Nations conference, I helped draft an amendment to a resolution on the fly in response to the actions of another country, which actually ended up passing. Safe to say, at the end of the interview, I think it went pretty well because I got the job. And I became an orientation leader. It was a blast. I would really recommend it. If you were looking for a job after your freshman year, they have it all over. These experiences you've had in high school will continue to serve you in the future. Don't forget them, and don't forget to reflect on them when the time comes. You never know when they're going to come in handy. Fast forward to now, 7 years later, I'm about to start my first real job as a resident physician. And I'm not going to lie, I'm scared. I don't know what it's going to be like being responsible for people's lives, taking care of them in that setting, since I've been a medical student the whole time and being, for the most part, coddled in the hospital. And in medical school, I actually realized There's a term I've always felt at the beginning of a new chapter in life. It's called imposter syndrome. It's the feeling that you shouldn't be here, as if I don't belong. Somehow I got this, even if I got this far, through my own merit and through my own accomplishments. My graduation speaker in medical school has said it. Numerous people in my life have said it. They tell me over and over again, you're worth more than you think. You have more skills than you think. And you should really carry that and hold that up high. The foundation that you've been given will carry you through the rest of your life. And you need to remember that as you go about it. I am confident that you all will be the next movers, thinkers, and shapers of the world. So enjoy summer, relax, because come this fall, be ready to make a difference wherever you go. So thank you so much, Batch of 2021. I truly wish you all the best.